Moving on, Russia slams the deployment of American troops in Jordan as an unconstructive step in the Syrian crisis. The Russian Foreign Ministry says the move is in breach of internationally agreed principles for ending the crisis through negotiations. On Wednesday, U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel revealed that up to 200 U.S. military specialists will be deployed in Jordan to help contain the violence in Syria. Dozens of American troops have already been assisting Jordanians over the past year. Meanwhile, Jordan's opposition party, the Islamic Action Front, has denounced the presence of American troops in the kingdom. The party has asked the government to review its decision to authorize the deployment of foreign troops on Jordan soil. Let's talk to Dr. Randy Short, human rights activist from Washington. Welcome to the program, sir. Dr. Short, we've been discussing the war on Syria for a long time now. This question always comes to the mind, that what is this war in Syria all about?
It's about getting rid of the Islamic Republic of Iran, as well as eliminating the last vestiges of true Arab nationalism in terms of the Ba'athist Party. They've destroyed it in Iraq, and they want Syria. And this has been a long-term goal since the 1950s, to get rid of the Ba'athists.
President Bashar Assad's recent assessment of the situation in Syria alludes to the fact that
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Dr. Short, can you hear me? Dr. Short,
yes.
All right then. I'll ask the second question once again. President Bashar Assad's recent assessment of the situation in Syria alludes to the fact that the West's actions in Syria will have a severe backlash in both European countries and the US itself. How would you describe this?
Well, that's absolutely the case if you consider, by extension, the relationship that Iran has to Syria. The French automobile manufacturer Peugeot has gone out of business. Europe is suffering. American fuel prices, the prices at the house I'm in Washington, we're suffering. The cost of food and things are going up rapidly here. So, the pinch is being felt by the ordinary people, just not the radical, maniacal Zionist neocons at the top. The plutocrats, they're fine, but ordinary people, it's a problem. I think most people want peace, and actually I think so many people want peace. You see these situations like what has happened in Boston, which is unfortunate, and there are lots of questions about what that really was and how that goes, and even the linkage to Chechnya, which is geographically, again, close to Iran.
We know that Washington is trying to bring in other countries into the conflict in Syria. How would this have an impact on the whole region itself?
Well, look, Lebanon is poised to implode. 85% of the Turks dislike what the government's doing in Syria. You've got an uptick in violence, sectarian violence, all over Iraq. Every day, senseless deaths there. This is also creating problems. And Jordan, they are going to have problems. You have tensions going on, as well as in places like Egypt. When you have the guns and you have these people, in particular, the people who are being trained to fight in Syria, they're going back to Tunisia. They're going back to Algeria. You're going to see this senseless, illegal, human rights violating war against Syria cause many insurgencies and violence throughout the Middle East and North Africa, and possibly in other places in Asia, because we know that over 90%, according to German intelligence, of these fighters in Syria are non-Syrians, which means they're going to go home one day with the knowledge of how to kill, how to make bombs, how to use poison gas and poisonous material against people. And they're going to have a connection to the CIA and the British intelligence, so they can do false flags, so-called regime-changing things to support their funders in the West.
Indeed. Well, I'm sorry we'll have to leave it there. Many thanks to Dr. Randy Short, human rights activist from Washington. As always, thanks for your time there, sir.